There's that man again.
So here lately, I'm discovering I might just be a fan of blue fragrances. There was a time that was not the case. I wasn't a big fan of them at all, but as I look through my collection, yeah, I got quite a few. In fact, I got 10 of them and one honorable mention I want to talk about. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Teddy Files. I'm your resident sommelier, Mr. Diaz Teddy, and today I've discovered that I like blue fragrances. I think I really wasn't paying attention to it until I decided to go through the collection and make this one. And man, I got a lot of blues. As a matter of fact, I got 10 of them that I'm going to talk about. And these are going to be 10 designers. I have a couple of niche ones that are absolutely excellent, but I think I want to keep it in the designer realm today. And I do also have an honorable mention. If it was Abercrombie and Fitch Blue Instinct that put me back into wanting to like blue fragrances, it was this one that actually solidified it, and that would be Dior Sauvage UDP. I mean, citrusy blue shower gel, Szechuan pepper. I mean, the Szechuan pepper really takes it over the top and gives it a little bit of that spiciness. This is a really great fragrance. I don't have one of those vignettes up here for this one because, like I said, it's just an honorable mention. But honestly, a lot of people want to say that it's played out. I'm sorry. It's still one of my favorite scent profiles. And I will continue to rock Dior Sauvage UDP. So the first fragrance that I want to talk about is one that I've worn a couple of times. I think I got it maybe a couple of months ago, and I've worn it a few times. Thoroughly enjoy the fragrance, and it's definitely one of the favorite blues in my collection, and that would be Azzaro Chrome Parfum. Citrusy, has a bit of a smokiness to it. It's almost like a incense smokiness to it. This is an amazing fragrance, man. Please don't sleep on this. It has about 6 to 8 hours of longevity on my skin, and the sillage is crazy. The sillage is absolutely insane. I have not one time had a moment where I did not enjoy how this smelled on my skin. As far as your fragrance notes go, you have green mandarin at the top, which is what you absolutely will catch. You'll catch the citrus of that green mandarin. The C notes really give it a bit of a salty feel. The juniper berries come out, they pop off as well. The cashmere and the amber is not as sweet to me, but as far as I'm concerned, it is almost like a blue smoky fragrance. I don't know where the smoke's coming from, but I quite enjoy it. And in all honesty, it is not that expensive. And you already know, if you wanted to find these fragrances, I will be putting them in the description box right up under this video. There is no money attached to it. I don't get paid for these. It's not a paid advertisement or any of that stuff. I just find the best deals possible to make sure that you guys can get them. Even though, if there are fragrance people online that are using advertisements and that are using those types of links, people don't disparage them from using them, because many of us, our integrity is one of the most powerful things that we have. We have to be truthful, because that is what you guys expect when you come to see us. We need to be truthful and be honest about a fragrance. If we like it, if we don't, we shouldn't be trying to upsell anything. And most of us, I would say 90 something percent of us, do not do that. So if there are links, a link tree or something that are attached to these videos, and just because somebody gets a commission off of it, it's not coming out of your pocket. It's actually coming out of the company's pocket. Just buy the fragrance and enjoy it. These links are put there so that you guys can save money. So don't look at it like a lot of us are trying to be grifters and all this other stuff. That is not the case. We're just trying to find you the best bang for your buck. That is it. But one of the best bangs for your buck, in my opinion, would definitely be this Azzaro Chrome. Parfum. So the next fragrance that I got coming up is green, aromatic, and spicy, and is honestly one of the my favorites that I have in my collection right now, and that would be Polo 67. Especially as far as the blue fragrances go. This is an amazing fragrance, man. Look, spoiler alert. There are 4 Polo fragrances in this video, just so you guys know. So when you see them coming up, you're probably like, hey, man, this dude's crazy about Polo. Yes, I do. I love Polo. I have several Polo fragrances up here on the shelf behind me, and they continue to put out quality fragrances. A lot of them don't last very long, but I find that you get a good 6 hours out of this one, so I haven't had a problem with this one whatsoever. When you get to the fragrance notes, you'll get to understand exactly what I'm talking about. As far as your top notes, you got pineapple, bergamot, and lemon, so you get a lot of that because it's very, very clean and fresh at the top. But you also get the clary sage, juniper, and rosehip. But the vetiver, patchouli, and goldenrod at the bottom of the fragrance is what carries the fragrance the rest of the way. This is an absolutely insanely gorgeous fragrance. I'm a big fan of it. I'm so glad that I have it in the collection. And to be honest with you, I'm a little weirded out by why it took me so long to get it, because I like Polo fragrances. So usually when a Polo comes out, I'm all over it. But this one, I kind of waited a little bit. And like I said in other videos, sometimes when things get like crazy hype, I don't hop on it right away. But usually if it's a Polo, I go right for it. But I don't know what it was with this, but I'm so glad now that I have it in my collection. And honestly, I think you would enjoy it in yours as well. And that would be Polo 67. So this is another fragrance that got crazy hyped, and I didn't buy it right away because, like I said, I'm going to get things when I want it. And honestly, when I saw the fragrance notes, I thought it was going to be very basic. So I was just kind of like, yeah, I'll wait if I decide to get it. Man, I wish I would have listened to my first mind when it came to this, and that would be Versace Bleue. So if there's a Hall of Fame when it comes to blue fragrances, this is going to be in there as well. It's going to be in there with the rest of the blue fragrances. This is quintessential blue. Shower gel, musty, just citrusy, somewhat ambery. This is honestly, to me, one of the top blue fragrances. Bleue for me it really has been a pleasant wear. Every single time I wear it, it's one of the ones that actually makes me smile. It's a really great fragrance. I can wear this all the time, though. I can wear this in the summertime. I don't go crazy with the sprays in the summer, but especially spring. Spring is when this one flies. This is an amazing one. If we go with the fragrance notes, I promise you guys will absolutely enjoy what these fragrance notes have to offer. As far as the top, you got the calabrian bergamot, you got your water notes, you got grapefruit and fig leaf. In the middle, you got that ambroxan, the spiciness of that black pepper, the patchouli, violet leaf, and papyrus. But it's the incense note and the musk note that really pop out. But you also have tonka bean and saffron. There's something about that smoky incense that melds well with that ambroxan and the notes at the top, the citrusy notes at the. This is a great fragrance, man. And in all honesty, I would encourage you, if you don't already have it in your fragrance collection, it's not very expensive. I think you might be able to get a nice size bottle for some sub $40 or so. I think I got this one from in the 20s, and that's like a 50 ml. So it's not very expensive, and in all honesty, it lasts pretty good on your skin. It's a pretty damn good fragrance, guys. So if you already haven't tried Versace Bleue, this might be the year where you get it in your collection and on your skin. Versace Bleue. So as I said in the beginning, here comes another one of those Polos, and this one is aromatic, woodsy, citrusy, and in all honesty, it is one of the smoothest Polo fragrances that I've ever smelled, and that would be Polo Blue Parfum. This fragrance here, when I tell you they took a shower gel fragrance, a based shower gel smelling fragrance, and made it so much more sophisticated, and it just has a more premium smell to it. This is an amazing fragrance. Man, look, honestly, Polo, like I said, they knock it out of the park every single time. I've not one time had a fragrance of theirs that I didn't think smelled absolutely amazing. Well, that's not true. That's not true. We all know the challenges that I had with Polo Blue EDT. We've talked about it on this channel several times. But once again, I'm going to try to revisit it and see if it smells a little different, has changed, in my opinion, on my skin. But right now, we're talking about Polo Blue Parfum, which is an excellent, excellent Polo fragrance. And your fragrance notes are absolutely amazing. You got your mandarin oil at the top with the pink pepper and cardamom. You got that beautiful lavender and clary sage in the middle with that dry woodsy vetiver and jasmine. And you also have that masculine oak with also the olibanum and some patchouli. This fragrance right here, truthfully to me, is something that I love and can't wait to always put on my skin. I'm not going to say I've run through the bottle because I have several fragrances I have to choose from, but I've put a nice little dent in it. It's a little bit of a dent because, like I said, I have several blue fragrances and gotta wear them. You know, gotta put them on skin. But if I was have to say, as far as my designers, what would I say is my most enjoyable? I would have to say I got a nice top three, and one of the top threes would be Polo Blue Parfum. So the next fragrance that I got coming up, the moment that I smelled it out of the atomizer and got it on skin, it was love at first sniff, and that would be L'Eau Bleu d'Issey by Miyake. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Grown Man Ish right here. This right here, to me, takes a blue fragrance and adds a few steroids to it. This is an amazing blue fragrance. You want to talk about adulting? If you want to do some adulting with a blue fragrance, this is the fragrance that you want to get your hands on. In all honesty, it is an amazing fragrance to me. Your notes, your top notes on this one are rosemary, lime, orange wood, mandarin orange, and lemongrass. You got middle notes of cypress, juniper berry, ginger, lavender, pink pepper, star anise, rose, nostrum. You also have, with your bottom notes, you have some atlas cedar, some patchouli, some oak moss, some sandalwood, amber, ambrette, which is musk mallow. There's a lot of notes, but whatever kind of magical formula they put together, they came up with a masterpiece on this one, man. If you are a blue fragrance fan, honestly, you will absolutely love this on your skin. It is beautiful in the air. The CRs goes crazy on it as well. It's an 8-hour fragrance for me, which is crazy because a lot of Issey Miyake fragrances do not last 8 hours on my skin. This one did. So honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, if you are a blue fragrance fan, it would be shocking to me if you did not like this one on your skin, and that would be L'Eau Bleu d'Issey from Issey Miyake. So we got another Polo coming up, and it is one that I have been trying to get my hands on for a while. It was very elusive to me, but I'm glad I got my hands on it now, and that will be Polo Ultra Blue. So this Polo is a little bit more of a powdery option than all the other Polos. It's a little bit sweeter than the other Polos as well. I wouldn't even say it's a little bit brighter. I would say that it has a little bit of a density to it as well, but it is an extremely enjoyable fragrance. It kind of veers almost slightly away from what you would normally smell in the Polo Blue line, but this to me is an absolutely excellent fragrance. It's one that I've enjoyed putting on my skin, and I will continue to enjoy putting on my skin. I think it's a 3-season fragrance, in my opinion. I think you can wear it in the summertime, fall, and spring. Not a lot of sprays in the summer because, like I said, it has a little bit of a sweetness, powderiness to it. So there might be, if you spray it too much, it might be a bit much. But as far as that fall and spring, absolutely. As far as your fragrance notes go, on this one, you got at the top, you got citron, lemon, basil, lemon verbena. You have mineral notes in the middle with ambroxan. You also have base notes of salt, musk, and woodsy notes. And in all honesty, I'm not sure where a lot of the powdery nature is coming from, but like I said, it's a different take on Blue. It's a nice different take on Blue. It's a pleasant surprise. And in all honesty, I'm gonna see if I can definitely put it in the description box, so it won't take you guys so much time to get your hands on it like it did for me, because it was a pain in my ass one time to try to find this fragrance and find it at a good price. I was seeing it on eBay, but I wasn't paying eBay prices. But I'm glad I got my hands on it, and that would be Polo Ultra Blue. So the next fragrance that I got coming up is another one of those top three favorite blue fragrances as far as designers, and that will be Bentley For Men Azure. Now, for me, this is a blue fragrance that definitely has the grown man stamp of approval on it. I absolutely enjoy this fragrance. It's one of those fragrances that changes your mood. It definitely changes mine. Most of the time I'm in a pretty damn good mood. But this actually gives you a little boost of confidence, a little boost of je ne sais quoi when you wear this one. This fragrance to me, honestly, it doesn't get the kind of recognition that it deserves. The Bentley line, so far, in my opinion, is amazing. But this is the one that's usually like the bald-headed stepchild of the fragrance. And I don't know why. Some of your fragrance notes in this one are violet leaf, pineapple, tangerine, and bergamot. You have a tea note, a lavender note, and I believe that paprika note is one of the things that kind of switches it around. The clary sage, cashmere wood, and tonka bean. This is an amazing fragrance, everybody. If you haven't gotten your hands on it, now, once again, it's a blue fragrance, so let's just call it what it is. There's not going to be many things that are groundbreaking about any of these fragrances. They're blue fragrances, they're mass appealing fragrances, so that's what they're made for. But then when you find differences and nuances within that type of scent profile, that's when you get a little bit excited. And this to me was a little bit exciting to me because, in all honesty, it did more than just be a blue fragrance, and that would be Bentley Azure. So for the last Polo fragrance that we have today, this one is a blue fragrance that decided to add a little bit of Polo Black to it, and that would be Polo Deep Blue Parfum. And how does it add in Polo Black? Well, it brings in that green mango note, and that to me it's brilliant. That is brilliant. This fragrance, in all honesty, it is a brighter parfum, but it also has a bit of a heaviness to it as well. And some of your fragrance notes, you got that green mango, that grapefruit, and that bergamot. You also have cypress, clary sage, and geranium, and you catch some of that green from the cypress. Also, you have C notes and ambroxan and some of that fir resin as well, but you have musk and patchouli. This fragrance, to me, it goes off the beaten path a little bit when it comes to blue fragrances. Like I said, Polo, if they don't know how to do nothing else, man, they know how to do some blue fragrances. And to me, the subtleties and the differences in each one of them, you pick them up. And especially if you have a nose that's somewhat trained. Mine's is still a nose in training, so I'm still learning some stuff. But if you kind of have somewhat of an experienced nose, you can pick up some of those subtle nuances. But for most other people, man, it just smells really good. And to me, this is a 6-hour fragrance. It is definitely spring and summertime perfect. If you can get your hands on this one, like I said, I'm going to scour the internet, see if I can find it for you guys so that you can experience it for yourself. And that would be Polo Deep Blue Parfum. So the next fragrance that I got coming up is another one of those off the beaten path blue fragrances, but it's definitely a blue fragrance, and it's one that I love having in my collection. I love putting it on my skin, and that will be Rochas L'Homme. We're not focusing today, people. I'm not sure why. Maybe get closer here. Anyway, you'll see it on the card as well, but this is another one. This was definitely not what I expected. I mean, you look at the color, you're thinking blue of the most blue, and that is not what you get. In all honesty, it's more tonka bean powdery than it is an absolute blue fragrance, but it does have those blue elements as well that makes it a true blue fragrance. And as far as your fragrance notes, you have that blood orange, you have pineapple and cardamom. The juniper berry gives it a little bit of that fizziness, but you also have geranium and basil. But like I said, for the most part, what you pick up is that tonka bean and that patchouli that gives it that powdery, creamy nature, as well as some moss. This is an excellent fragrance, everybody. And it is one that if you have not experienced it yet, you have your opportunity, because I will put the link down here so you guys can check it out. Maybe a 6-hour fragrance at the most. You get about an hour of sillage. This is a really good fragrance, everyone. And now here's the thing: if you're not into powdery fragrances, don't put your hands on this. But if you do like powdery blues, this is definitely one that'll be right up your alley, and that would be Rochas L'Homme. The last fragrance that I got coming up is aromatic, fresh, and spicy, and it definitely fits in this blue category, and that would be Varvatos XX Indigo. You can tell by that crazy jewel on the front, but the scent itself, man, when I tell you that this, in all honesty, these are the things that make me love blue fragrances. Stuff like this, stuff like the ones that I just put up there for you guys to check out, and things like this that have that shower gel feel, but there's so many different nuances in these fragrances that for me make them masterpieces. And I'm not talking about masterpiece like, oh my God, I've never smelled anything better than this. I'm talking about, as far as the art of fragrance, the things that these guys do to put this stuff together, and the different nuances that you catch in a lot of these fragrances. It just makes being into the fragrance community a very enjoyable thing. Some of your fragrance notes, with this one, you have top notes of mint, lemon, and pink pepper. You have middle notes of geranium, cardamom, and poppy. You also have, at your base notes, your patchouli, your vetiver, and your musk. And you have that blue, woodsy, somewhat green, somewhat spicy fragrance as well. This is a really good fragrance, and it is one that I'm glad I have in my collection. It's not the longest lasting fragrance in my collection, but the wearing experience by itself, the sillage as well. This is a really gorgeous fragrance, and it is very inexpensive. And I'll make sure, once again, I'll put these things in the description box for you guys to be able to get your own hands on. This is definitely one that is definitely worth the price of admission as well, and that would be Varvatos XX Indigo. Well, everyone, that is my time. Thank you once again for joining me over here for this blue fragrance edition of the Teddy Files. I'm going to have to make a part 2 of this, because there were several blue fragrances that I did not mention that definitely need to be mentioned in this type of video. So when I do that one, I'll definitely let you guys know. And I love and appreciate you guys for all the support that you've been giving me. And remember to keep on telling other people about it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the content, because it helps the channel to grow. And please hit that bell icon so that you'll know when I upload another video, because my name is Mr. Dior Sauvage, your fragrance sommelier. And over here, we don't do stink. So please, don't be a stink ass. Have a good one.